In the world of clicks and views, we got the tricks, ain't got time to lose. Christina and Joe dropping knowledge non-stop for all you realtors. Climb it to the top. Grab your camera, let's make the tape. Content gold, no time to waste. From open house to renovation glory, YouTube secrets unfold your story. Build those leads with every post. Christina and Joe, the ultimate hosts. Market trends and virtual tours. Turn those watchers into door knocking scores. Lights, camera, action, go live. Tips and tricks to help you thrive. Thumbnail magic, title spice. A clickbait charm, but a touch of nice. SEO game on point and tight. Comments buzz.
I love our little ditty, a little jammy jam. Hello there, Joe Eves.
Hey, good. How are you doing?
Good. So I wanted to explain to you why this was the topic this week. We do these posts on the Real Estate Mastermind group, and the title part was Title Tuesday, and every single person that posted a title, it was the most uncompelling titles I had read. I mean, I get why people do these titles. I have a theory, and maybe we can go over it, but people really need to work on making your titles compelling. I always say, like you got to make it juicy, like you got to make it interesting. And so today that's what we're talking about. We're talking about making it more compelling.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because I think a lot of people just put stuff down and don't even think about it. And it's like, well, it's a real estate video. They're going to be searching on YouTube. So I want my video to show up because I'm going to type in, this address and this zip code, and then my video is going to be found. So
I think there's a couple other things too. Another one is that people say, I don't want to make it clickbaity, like I don't want to put clickbaity words in there. The word clickbait is you've baited somebody by reading the words to make them want to click. It's not a negative thing. Clickbaity titles are what gets people to click on your video. You need to make it compelling.
Yeah. That's the thing is it's like it only became bad when YouTube's algorithm wasn't there to where it was like they'd put this crazy thumbnail and then it would switch to something nothing like that. And that's why the term clickbait was all of a sudden it was like this bad thing when really it's not. Every industry uses this. If you're on Netflix and you're scrolling to like watch a video, you're looking at like the thumbnail to go, oh, okay, is that something that like I would be interested in watching? And the same thing is true with YouTube is you're scrolling to see a thumbnail. And then what's the next thing you do after you see a thumbnail that kind of catches your eye?
What's this about? What's this video about?
What's it about?
And they look at the title.
And they look at the title. Yeah. Right. And that's...
go ahead.
No, I mean, we're both going to say the same thing, but like, that's the thing that like people need to realize that this is not this, you're not clickbaiting in a bad way. You're creating interest and like the thumbnail is there for you to have interest. But then on top of that, it's like, okay, now that you've stopped them from scrolling or you've got their attention, and like what you just said, make a title really juicy. How can you get that to where now it causes them to create action? And that's the issue, right?
Yes. And like, sometimes it's the subject matter that isn't compelling. So how do you make that subject matter more compelling for them to want to, click on it?
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to find I found the post. So let's go ahead and show this post. And hopefully these people won't be upset, but I don't think so.
It's for everybody to learn. That's why we're doing this.
Well, of course. So this was Title Tuesday, and all right. So here is there were 19 comments. So I'm going down. Okay. The ultimate guide to living in Columbus, Ohio. I said it needs to be more compelling. There's currently reads like the cover of a pamphlet. I can't help myself. Right? but it's true. I mean,
Right.
it's like the ultimate guide, blah blah blah. I mean, come on. What makes it more exciting? So I said this title needs to be I lived in Columbus, Ohio, so you didn't have to. And then the thumbnail needs to say you need to know, and then point to something, you know?
Yeah.
That is more compelling than the ultimate guide to blah blah blah
Yeah.
blah. So,
What it does is when you're doing these thumbnail titles, like the titles for your videos, is you have to think about, like, you have to take a minute and really process what the viewer behavior is and what is going to get them to click. And the ultimate guide, like, you could use that in a way, but you have to process it. And so what I would say is, as you're looking at titles, like, look at your own viewer behavior and what do you stop and click on and read more about, and incorporate that into what you're doing. Most people, it's an afterthought. They're just putting it there because they don't realize how important it really is.
the other title that was interesting to me, Jamie put, not getting an inspection on a brand new home will cost you. That's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's not doing well. So he tried the truth about new construction and home inspections. Both are not doing great. And I said, it's because the information isn't exciting. Inspections aren't exciting.
Yeah.
So I said, but if you had a story in the video about someone who didn't get an inspection and how it cost them tens of thousands of dollars, then you could have a title like, they lost thousands on their new home not doing this one thing.
Yep.
That's compelling.
Yes. Because then you're like, what's that one thing? You're creating curiosity.
Correct. And that's, I mean, this is a learned, trained behavior, right? We like, and this is so true of a good portion of anybody making content on the internet, but it's especially true with real estate agents and people in the lending space. They want easy. Tell me the title that I want and I'll make it. So
Yeah.
they have become dependent on AI tools.
Yep.
Or they just find somebody else that did it, so they do it too. They're like, oh, someone else made this in my competition, so I'm going to make the same video. But your competition got 1,500 views. You could do so much more better views if your titles were more compelling for the same exact subject matter.
Yeah.
You can't depend on AI tools to make your titles. The first words out of my mouth when somebody posts some of these titles,
AI made this.
I said, this reads like AI created it. And they always laugh and they go, yep, that's exactly what happened.
Now, don't get us wrong. AI is a great way to flush out ideas.
Yes.
Because there are some times where it's like, oh, I don't really know how to word this or how to phrase this. And then it helps you brainstorm and look at it through a different lens and a different angle. But at the end of the day, like, you have to spend a little bit of time thinking about, how can I make this title engaging? How can I create curiosity, like really get them to click?
Mm-hmm.
And I always use the same example, but it's the example of, like, when you're, it shows my age a little bit, but when you're the grocery line, when you'd have to sit there and wait, and you'd see like the National Enquirer, and you'd have these like outrageous titles, and they're only 3 to 10 words. And every one of them like made you want to look to find that article. So if you're doing content, think of it that way. Like, you have a moment to capture them with your thumbnail, and then to reinforce that with your title. And if you make a good title and a great thumbnail and then a great title, you're going to get that. But you have to create that curiosity, or you have to make a statement. That's the other thing, is a lot of people just ask, like, they start off a title with a question.
Yeah.
Thinking that's going to get them to click.
What is the best place to live?
Yeah.
Like, instead of saying what is the best place to live, you say, this is the best place to live. That you're standing on a statement that is much more compelling.
Yep.
Because then it gives a person an idea. Oh, well, I wonder why they think this place is the best place, or they have that curiosity enough to say, I got to hear what he has to say because I'm going to argue with them,
Yeah, exactly.
or maybe they're talking about my area,
Yep. I mean, that's what it is. When you make a statement like that, then all of a sudden you're creating two sides of it, because you're not asking and it's like, well, you're only getting half the people that will agree with you if you're like, oh, what is the best place? And I think it's here. Now it's like, no, this is the best place and this is why. And all of a sudden now you have both angles of, no, it's not. And yes, it is. And why is that important? Why do we need to have it from both angles of people engaging, even if they don't agree with what you're saying?
Any kind of communication between both sides allows for more velocity to your video,
Yep.
because anytime you have more engagement, and then this is true at any social media, and more engagement within the comments section, the more likely that the video will be recommended to other avatars that are just like the one that you're trying to capture.
Yep. And people like it
is about leads, right? We're
Yep.
trying to get more people that are like you, that you want to sell these type of houses to. I mean, it all comes back, like it all comes down to the avatar, like knowing your audience. And if you are doing these types of videos and making these kinds of statements and you have more engagement within your videos and you get that more velocity, you're getting more avatars that you didn't have before because of that. It all ties together.
Yeah, it really does. And when you understand that, then it's like even more powerful, because it can go out further, and YouTube then tests with other audiences as well.
Mm-hmm. I concur, Joe Eves.
Yeah. So let's talk about some titles that, that are compelling with some of the videos. We do have some channel reviews, so maybe we can kind of mix that into it as we're doing.
I was just going to say that I think that is the correct thing to do. I didn't mean to show everybody what little moderation I was doing there.
Kick them.
We get those spammers in there and they're like, you want financial freedom, go to this. And
I follow so-and-so for all of my financial advice.
Yeah. And I always just, immediately ban hammer.
And for life, and any new accounts they make.
Yep. Yep. Oh, look, here it is. That was me about the inspection video. I didn't yes. Yeah. Thank you for letting us show that on the screen. Yep. But it's true though. I mean, you take a boring topic and you give it a story that makes it compelling. Then you have a banger video, right?
Yep.
There's nothing really exciting about inspections unless you're an inspector and you're showing all the crap.
Yeah, I mean, and there's some pretty good engagement that way for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yep. Thank you for letting us share that. Okay, so we have some channel reviews that we're going to go ahead and put up on the screen. Let me go ahead and pull the first one up, and then we can talk about making these titles more compelling instead of going through what we normally go through. Let's do that. Eat, play, stay in Seldia, Colorado. I don't know. I'm not even gonna try. Whatever.
No idea.
No idea. Okay. All right. Let's talk about their titles. Okay. Coming soon, renovation property, and then the address. Experience the ultimate cabin life. Beautiful scenic views on Colorado's. All right. I'm gonna pause it immediately, and then we're gonna talk about this really quick. Oh no, thanks. Obviously, this isn't one that I've. All right. What would you do to make this title much more compelling?
Okay, so first off, it's an address to a listing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, nobody cares. They're not searching that address. So
Correct.
I would get rid of the address 100%.
Yep. I would get rid of the address, and it has this thing where it has the 3 titles. You see that little line?
Yeah, it's
this is one of those fake hacks.
Yeah.
The SEO experts say will help get your videos more Google juice. This is not a real thing. So the address, you could just leave it in the description. It has just as much weight and not as much damage like you did putting it in the title. So put that in the description, and put the Pinion Hills, put that in the description. You do not need to have that in the actual title itself. And I would say, instead of coming soon, I would say you won't believe what's coming in this renovated property in Colorado.
Yeah.
Right? You won't believe, like, that is more compelling than this. Like, coming soon. Oh, it's not available. What do I care?
Yeah, exactly. I'm curious to look. Can we look at just the intro? I know.
Okay.
And
I'm
if she's
going to keep the sound off.
Yeah, keep the sound off.
Mm-hmm. It was quick.
Yeah, I still would get rid of it. I bet you if you looked at your analytics.
I don't know why it went back.
See how you have like your name
Mm-hmm.
and the location. That's I bet you if she looked at her analytics, it goes just like this here and then just straight down.
Like a hockey stick.
Like a hockey stick. And the biggest reason why is because nobody cares about who you are right now. Until they get to know, like, and trust you, it doesn't matter. So rather than promoting yourself right off at the beginning, start off with like where like it cuts through the intro part, even if it's only 5 seconds. Get rid of that 5 seconds of that and talk about what you're going to be doing with the property, and cut through and kind of tell the story. I know it's probably a listing video to, like, get some promotion or to let people know like what's available. But if you're looking to get people to actually watch it, you'd be better off starting out telling the story of everything and getting right into it rather than who you are first.
I'm going to tell you another thing too. The amount of transitions in this
That's a
video,
lot.
you need to cut it in half. I'd cut it almost like 60%. You have too many transitions. Like, people want to see the house. You don't have to put it like a flashy, see like that flash across the screen. That is not necessary. You could a jump cut would have been better than the flashy and like
the zoom transitions and all of that.
See all these
That's
transitions.
more of like I wonder if her editor is more of like a shorts type editor.
I'm thinking like, if you were like on this would be
TikTok
like
or Instagram
or Reels. Yeah. Yep. This is not this for a full-length video too on house tours. Like, this is obviously like an interview and you're talking about these things. You could make this a long form video much longer than this. So YouTube likes videos that are over 8.5 minutes, 8 minutes, 30 seconds. And if like the real good home tours are honestly over 20 minutes. And the quality of your work here is top notch. I mean, the camera work is really good. It's obvious, like the lighting is perfect. You could easily turn this into almost like a television show. And that's what people are starving for right now is they do not like traditional television. They trust us on YouTube. So make them a television show.
Yeah. And they're used to like a half an hour show. So,
right. And the quality's there. I mean, that camera work is amazing.
Good. But again, going back to like what you're saying, like all those transitions like that you're going to get comments and people are going to be like, show more of the house, talk more about the property, quit doing like, I'm going to get,
they're saying, I'm so dizzy from the amount of, I would watch, but I'm so dizzy, or, oh, it's giving me seizures. I already know. Cause we've done, Joe and I've been doing this for a hot minute. And I used to put music on my videos too. And people always complained about music. So there is no music on my videos. And the second thing is I did too many transitions and they always complain about it. They're like, I feel seasick.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with, if you're going to be doing the walkthrough with it, to having like what you have with the text on the bottom and even like narrating as you're doing it. That's fine too, to kind of help tell the story. But really, like, your guy needs to dial back the transitions.
Yep. And you can even go a little bit slower with like that. There was a beautiful view from that window and he literally spent 3 seconds, not even 3 seconds. It was like a second and a half on that beautiful view.
And I guess it goes back to knowing like what platform you're putting this on. And one of the things is they may think, well, I lost them because of short form. That's, you have to do that or you're going to lose them. But on YouTube, they're there. They're hunkered down and they want to watch. And if you have a great thumbnail and a great title, because this video is like the quality is amazing.
It's so good.
You just need to expand it. It's too short.
Yep, it's too short. Yep, and make those titles much more compelling.
And if your editor argues with you, then let him know that he needs to change. He needs to do them longer.
Yeah, well, some editors are really good and understand one platform, but it doesn't cross over to the next.
Yep.
TikTok. Everybody knows that TikTok's about to get the plug pulled out from under them. And a lot of those TikTokers are struggling because their content doesn't work on other platforms because it wasn't that platform.
And they're wondering why.
They're wondering why, because the culture on TikTok is completely different than it is on YouTube and Instagram. So either A, they're going to have to adjust, or B, we're going to have to adjust once they all come over.
Yeah.
And that is the other thing too. Everything we say today could change tomorrow. So you always got to keep up to date, which Joe and I always do. We're just good like that. So.
Yep. We just do it.
We just do it.
But yeah, but I mean, the quality, great. The titles and the thumbnails, you definitely need to like work on those.
Yeah. So, I know this is about titles, but I want to give you a little quick hint on the thumbnails. There should never, ever, 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 there's never a time in history that you need to have more than 5 words on a title. Ever, never, ever. Like, write that down. That is in stone. That is a thing here on YouTube. Do not put no more than 5 words. If you're doing touring videos, the pattern right now, and it has been for a couple years, is just to feature the house itself and the price of the house in the skyline behind the roof of the house. Period. End. Nothing else needs to be on there. The house and the price. That's it.
We got a comment here and it says, titles are my enemy.
Yeah, I know. Do you know, thumbnails used to be my biggest enemy, and now it's like one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah. The thing is it's like anything, you just have to work at it. And the more you work at it, then the better it will become and the easier it will get. But even then, it's just always look at it in a way that's like, how can I
want to watch it?
Yeah. Like, how can I create curiosity? Like what would get me to click on this?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. All right. We're going to go ahead and move to the next one. And this is moving to Charleston, your real estate resource. I love his little QR code.
Yep.
Home tours, lifestyle maps, and community insight. All right. Perfecto. All right. Let's look at the videos. Let's see. Charleston Homes, a new build on James Island with water views. Oh, wow. That is so compelling. Oh, here we go. Live sets from King Street, new downtown Charleston home.
Yeah.
All right. This is the perfect example of what we mean by trying to make your titles more compelling. The reason you got 5 views in 21 hours is this reads like an encyclopedia. Like someone would have to specifically be typing that in order for that to get found. And I would take yourself off of there. I would do what I said to the other person, which is just focus on the house and put the price and the skyline in the background. You don't need to have your face on there. And then let's talk about new home. So I'd say inside this new home on James Island. Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would, maybe if you wanted to put words, I'd say with water views. That's what I put on the thumbnail if you wanted to use words instead of numbers. I
concur.
Do you really?
I do.
Okay.
I think that anytime you're doing home tours,
mm-hmm.
like you want to get very specific and what that house is going to be about, and then remove yourself. I know we're not talking about thumbnails, but just since we're doing a review, take yourself off of it, make the best angle of the house, and then the price. And those few things will make a huge difference.
Yep. And if you're also doing tours, like you really want to get over 10 minutes. Like that, I think with a home tours, a minimum of 10 minutes.
It seems like they're like totally fine for like a 20 to 25 minute home tour now.
Oh, absolutely. People love them. I mean, honest to God, they really do love them. Even when they're not even in the market to buy a house.
They're still doing it. Yeah.
They really just enjoy watching them. And there are people, and some of our students, that they have watched their home tour channel for 2 years. And just now they're calling them. They're just now calling them. And they were like, I've been watching every single one of your videos when they come on the market. I just wanted to see what was out there. Now I'm ready to buy now. You never know who's watching. All right. So let's look at the next title. It says, is it Live Steps or Live Steps? Oh, I guess it's Live Steps from King Street. New downtown home, Charleston home. New downtown Charleston home. Oh, I would still be like
inside
discover this new downtown Charlton home. That's what I would say.
Yeah, one thing that, and this is something that we teach in the course, is a lot of it is going to be like, find what the word is or the thing that is popping off on YouTube for the type of video you're making. And we've recently had someone that's doing the tour type channel, and they did some testing, and it was still inside. Mm-hmm. The inside is still getting way more clicks than even touring or any of those other things. So just keep an eye out for like videos that are popping off, and look at the title and go, okay, like is it because of the thumbnail, the title? Like it's a combination usually, but having, like, again, something that's more compelling than just Live Steps from King Street.
I think he also probably has gotten the advice that he has to put Charlton, South Carolina, every single title. I assure you with every fiber of my being, you do not need to do that. That doesn't give you SEO juice. Just put it in the description of your videos. You do not have to put that in the title. YouTube algorithms are way smarter than you think they are. They already know that as soon as you uploaded your first video, where you uploaded it to, where you're from, it's reading the logos on your shirt. It recognizes it. It has very good pattern recognition. So immediately, if you're in a house that's in Charlton, South Carolina, it's already read that. It already knows. It already knows the location because of the geomapping and everything. So you don't have to write that in the title. Make a compelling title for the people watching. Let YouTube do its job. Don't try to like force their hand, because I know that you probably heard that from somebody, another SEO expert, another SEO guru that says that you have to do that in order for your videos to be found.
Yeah.
That is not the case. 100%.
No, and that's one of the things that we talk about is like the things change. At one point, that was important. At one point, they really did rely on meta tags and all of those things for keywords. The algorithm doesn't do that, and it hasn't done it for years.
Yep. This one right here reads exactly like an AI title. West Ashley, South Carolina. Everything you should know before moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just not compelling enough. Yeah. This is probably the most compelling title. Unbelievable new construction homes in Mount Pleasant. That is the most compelling title right there.
Yeah.
I'd actually like the 10% off. That I wouldn't put yourself on there. If you're going to put yourself on there, then this is true to everybody. If you're going to put yourself on your thumbnails, you want your personal image to be as big as a thumbnail. Like, that's why you see YouTubers' faces taking up either half or 1/3 of a thumbnail, because people want to connect with other people. So don't make yourself teeny tiny like you're a Smurf. Make yourself big enough where they can see the whites of your eyes.
Yep. It's true.
I know we weren't talking about thumbnails, but I can't help myself.
Hey, we're doing a channel review gives us a little grace that we can talk about other stuff.
Can you give me an example of a YouTube video home tour that has done well, preferably not someone who's had a professional camera crew? Oh, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you back in my day. You want to see one from back in my day? All right, this is Velar Real Estate. I hope the channel's still there. This is here we are. Yeah, this was 1,000 years ago, right? But these were compelling titles and they worked. I live in a very teeny tiny town, and I was helping a brokerage here. They were doing their own consultations, blah 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 blah, and we did these home tours. Back then, 5-minute tours were the thing, right? But you get the idea. It's the same thing, right? It's still the picture of the house. Very rarely do you see. You're not going to see any of the agents on these thumbnails. And they were filming all of this with their phone. Then they had somebody else edit it. And they got serious business off of this. And they stopped. Do you know why they stopped? The pandemic started and they didn't need to do it anymore. Because everything was selling like hotcakes.
Yep.
But I gave them consultation. This worked. I'll put I will put this in there. They had hired me to do this and it worked for them. And they were like, that was so great. And then now that's been slow, they're like, hey, can you come back and help us get started back up again? I'm like, no, I cannot. Nope. That ship has sailed. But yeah, if I was to advise them today, I would tell them, you can still do this with your phone. Exactly the same thing. Use your gimbal, use your phone. I would tell them to hire somebody and make those home tours last about 15 to 20 minutes. That's what I'd tell them. And of course, the same thing about the prices. I put the price in the roof line, the skyline behind it, and I would take all that other garbage off of there. They really they really felt like they had to put this Weichert logo on there, on every single one of their thumbnails. And I finally had talked them out of it, but they could not let it go, man. Finally, at the end, I guess they finally let go, but no, I mean, whatever. They did pretty good. I'm not complaining. Most people don't listen to me that good.
Right. But it worked.
It did work. It did work for them. They loved it. I think it was, I'm going to show you the one that really, they were really happy about, because it was a house that had been sitting vacant for quite some time, and they just didn't expect. Oh, it was this one. They didn't expect to get as much traction on it as they did. But that was 100 years ago. Back in my day, I was at the Three Rivers. Anybody can do it. Anybody. It's not hard. So. Yes, we are using StreamYard for this. They wanted to know we're using StreamYard. StreamYard is not cheap, and I'm one to complain about it. That's for sure. They've not.
But it's great. I mean, it's expensive, but there are some advantages to using it. So
they keep adding new features to it every single time. It's kind of like Facebook. You don't want to be there, but they have the best stuff, so you have to be there. Mm-hmm. All right, here we are. We know this guy. This is Vince.
Yep.
Yeah, Vince. All right, let's go ahead and go to his videos and let's scroll down. All right, look inside this modern 4-bedroom home with the 3-car garage on an acre. It's a little long. It is. I would say look inside this modern 4-bedroom home on an acre. You don't need the 3-car garage. And then I would, instead of no neighbors, I would put the price. What do you say, Joe?
I agree. I'm having some technical difficulties. Give me 2 seconds. I lost my screen. So.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna go to the next one.
Go to the next one until I can find it. I have no idea where my screen went.
Florida housing market in 2025 is boom or bust. So I would say, instead, like, you have to, it sounds wishy-washy because you're making it as, is it a boom or is it a bust? Like you have to make a statement. You have to make a statement that you're going to stand on. Like, the Florida housing market is in big trouble in 2025. Instead of saying, is it a boom or a bust? Who knows? Let's talk. It's just, you have to make those impactful statements in order for it to get more momentum. All right, dream home alert. I wouldn't do that. I would be like, I would either do look inside or touring this. Those seem to work really a lot better. And again, with the price, you want to put the price on the roof line, behind the roof line. It gets people's attention even better. But I do love the fact that it's over 22 minutes. Way to go there. Way to go there. 10 factors you can't ignore if you're planning to retire to Florida. I don't hate that one. That's
not bad.
No, I don't hate that one at all. I just think what the problem is why you're not getting momentum on this channel, if we're going to be honest, is that you have a mix of content. You have tours and you have information. So you're going to have to pick one. You can't be a touring channel and then expect a lot of momentum on educational stuff and vice versa.
Yeah. So it comes back down to dialing into your avatar and creating content specifically for them. And content is different when you're dealing with buyers than you are sellers. So, and the videos are different when you're doing home tours as opposed to educational videos. So, and I know that a lot of people are like, well, it really doesn't matter, but it really does matter. Like you really need to know like who you're talking to. And then you find out that there's more and more people that are like that. And then that's how your channel gains momentum and grows because you're concise. You're saying the same message. I mean, how many live streams have we done, Christina?
I don't know.
Yeah, we've done a lot. But the thing is that anyone that's watched this from the beginning, have we really, other than like things that have changed with YouTube, have we really changed that much of like what we're talking about?
Nope. Not
really.
No, just some like, like, this is how you upload, or this is where this button, that's the really,
or this got moved, or this is how you do this now. But like, as far as like our content is, we're not talking to plumbers on how to make YouTube videos. Like that's the point, is like when you get really like niche down into like who your avatar is, your content will expand.
Yep. A few things here. You did these thumbnails a couple months ago. The words are getting cut off. This thumbnail does not fit in the thumbnail space. This house is not centered to the thumbnail, right? This looks weird. And then
you got a lot of words on there too.
Yeah, and I don't know what this says at the bottom. Like this doesn't fit. They don't fit.
So one of the things, make sure you're like doing the right aspect ratio and the right size on your thumbnails. Like even look inside is getting cut off.
Yep. And then you covered up the house. Why would you do that? I would take that whole thing off of there. Just leave it the house.
Yep.
And then don't ever. All right. I know we're speaking of AI titles. If you're talking about gorgeous homes in a certain area, don't use an AI image ever. Never, ever, 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 never, ever, ever. Ever.
Yeah. Let's look at his most popular video.
Popular. I want to be popular. Okay, 8 months ago, love it or leave it. Everything you need to know. Okay, I got 4,800 views.
So one of the things you're like, obviously you're talking about a specific area, you're doing some education on there, and now you're switching to touring. Like you should, if you're going to do tours, Vince, you need to just have a whole separate channel.
Yeah, your top performing videos, it looks like here, are educational videos, not touring videos. It isn't until you get 1, 2, 3, 5 videos in that it's tours.
Yeah. So like go back up where his title has like "This sucks" or whatever. Sorry, scroll back down just a little. Right there where he's got like the alligator.
It's a 3 panels. It's it looks like a flooding, alligators in traffic.
Yeah. So you could have like that title's like pretty dang close. Like you're almost there with it.
I would say 9 reasons to think twice.
Yeah. Or even think twice before moving to Florida.
Yeah. No, yeah. think twice before moving to Polk County, Florida.
Yep. And then you're trying to do the rule of thirds. I don't know what that. I'm looking at it. I don't know what that middle graphic is.
I don't know if it's golf courses or homeless people. I don't know.
Yeah. So again, and this is for the channel review, but like make it simple so that when they see it within 2 or 3 seconds, they get an idea. Like honestly,
the alligator,
the alligator and the traffic was like, you could have done it with 2.
Yeah. You can actually take that middle picture out, bring those 2 images together, just leave it traffic and alligator.
But you want to like, if you can, like focus, like simplify. And that's that's the biggest thing. I think a lot of people think, well, they're not going to get it if I don't have words, or if I don't have things on here, they're not going to understand. And if you look at some of the biggest creators in the space, they're not putting words. They may have an arrow, but usually
or a number.
Yeah, or a number, but they're usually telling the story through the design of the thumbnail.
Mm-hmm. I bet you $1 million if you just took off the word. You don't even put "this sucks," right? Just put
No, you wouldn't need it. You
wouldn't need it because I mean, nobody says, I just really want to live around alligators and I just love traffic. Nobody says that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean,
title is putting in exactly what 9 reasons why to think twice about moving. Like the title would support the image where you didn't have to write words on the thumbnail itself.
Yep. And that's the key is grab that attention, and then have, think twice before moving to Florida. It sucks.
Mm-hmm. I concur, Joe Eves.
Someone says they like alligators.
Do you want to make out with one? I wouldn't. What does it say? Do you add town features to home tours if the home is a little condo, kind of like hard to make 20 minutes? Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
because it's part of that. It's part of the experience.
Yeah, it's a whole part of the tour. Like you go through the whole entire house, but then you'd say, but surrounding here are these golf courses, and these are some restaurants, and here are the local schools, and here's the park, and I forgot to mention that apartment complex or that condo association also has a swimming pool and a putt-putt golf area. And if you don't want to go to the gym, that's fine. There's a gym right here. You add all those amenities into it. So it's not, I know, I get it.
But one of the things that you can do with that, I mean, just think of it this way, is like if you were to take someone through it, and you're showing them this condo, like what would you tell them? Right. Because if the condo is small and then they're like, well, it's small, great, and then it's exactly like what Christina is saying is, well, why or what are the other features just by location that are going to be of value for this person or one? And maybe it's affordability, maybe it's close to the beach, maybe it has more amenities. I don't know, but those are the things that when you're doing that tour, those are the things that you want to talk about, because it essentially you're doing a virtual tour with people that are on YouTube. I
concur, Joey's. I concur.
Yep. So we've gone through. Have we gone through all of our channels?
We got 2 more.
All right. We had a few. So yeah, keep submitting them. We'll definitely dive into them.
Oh, and just so you guys know too, I don't know if you knew this, but we have a service. Do you have the phone number? Oh, here it is. So if you next week want to, you don't want to put your channel on there, but you have a question that you want to ask, you can leave a message for us on our AI robot answering service, and we will answer your question about YouTube live on the air next week. So look, it's 888-865-6062. That's 888-865-6062. Don't forget to call today. Toll-free charges. All right. I so appreciate the videos you put out. I was gaining traction and then had 11 months off due to medical issues. almost lost my arm this year. Good Lord.
Wow.
Well, Jacqueline, I don't know if you know this, but I took an 8-week sabbatical, I guess. I don't know what you say, but I just had to regain my mental status, and I was just trying to get myself back on track. Nowhere near almost losing an arm. Not even trying to compare that. But it's okay. It's okay to take a break. You can go back to your content. You can go back to it. And I would just put out a few videos and test the waters before you give up on that channel. I'm not there. You can bring it back, right?
Yep.
But if you put out a couple videos and they're only getting 1 or 2 views and you don't know why, then maybe it would be okay for you to start a new channel. But just talk to me. We'll talk. We'll figure it out together. So I'm glad you're back in the saddle again. I need to jump back in. Well, we're here for you. We're here for you. StreamYard pays for its fees though, and on the audience interaction on the live stream. True. Yeah, It is true.
And it's just so handy. I mean, really, I wish they didn't make it so expensive, but we're like, we can't find an alternative that we like as much.
Here's a guy that knows a little thing or two about some compelling titles.
Oh yeah.
Hey there, Kyle Seagraves. You guys didn't want to know anything about lending. He is the lender of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yes. Yeah, Jacqueline, no problem. We will definitely help you out. Yep. So let's go. Oh, I know why Mary was saying, all right, it's your turn, Mary. Here we go. Can you see Mary's channel here?
Yep.
Right. Mary, Bowberry, Banana Fana, Bowberry. Okay. Is this about real estate? Okay. So this is what I would do. First off, I think you uploaded this one as a short, but it was because it was over a minute, it uploaded as a video. It needs to be less than a minute in order for it to be a short.
Yep.
So this one doesn't relate to real estate. And this one does not relate to real estate. And I know why you're showing it, because you're like, well, everybody in Alabama loves, real estate, and they love, like, I just want to be on the same page as them. So they love football. So this is not like other social media sites. The only thing that they're here for is real estate. It's kind of like, think of it this way. If you went to the, to ESPN, right? You're watching ESPN, and all of a sudden the next show that pops up was sourdough baking. You would lose their ever-loving minds. But everybody loves sourdough bread. Everybody loves sourdough bread. Nobody's expecting that on their ESPN channel. They don't want that. It's not competitive sourdough baking, so they lose their top. You have to treat this like a television channel. Then they're there for one thing and one thing only, to hear stuff about real estate, if that's what your channel is about. So keep it in line with real estate.
It may be that you're like just experimenting and trying to say, okay, what's gaining traction, what's not gaining traction, but ultimately, like, if you want to do that kind of stuff, I would have a separate channel that you put that on, because it looks like, for the most part, you're trying to do some education. Well, it's kind of like a mix.
I don't think she's found her way or her niche quite yet. I think she's still experimenting. Yeah.
One thing that, right off the bat, probably the first thing I would say is try to make your content longer.
Look right here. This is even giving you the answer. They want to see your face. They want to hear about the truth. They want to hear, and they want to see the area of Tuscaloosa. That's what they want to. So give them what they want. It literally tells you that.
That's a great thumbnail. It's a great, it works. It's probably the title's still a little long.
Yeah, I know. But if she just made it the truth about moving to Tuscaloosa and left it at that, it would have been fine.
Yep.
There isn't any other Tuscaloosa in the United States. You don't have to put Tuscaloosa, Alabama. You can put that Alabama part in the description.
Can you scroll down just a little bit and let's see,
Yep. See, look. 6 months ago. Again, they want to hear about Tuscaloosa. But again, the ultimate guide, everything you need to know. This could have done so much better if it didn't read like AI wrote it.
Yeah. It's just like you got to just figure a way to make it a little bit more compelling. The other thing too,
But
and this is,
what no one tells you about moving to Tuscaloosa.
yep. The other thing that we know works is when you're happy and smiling, like that's not going to get the views that is if you are more of a serious or more of a somber look, and it's to catch the eye. But the thing is that I don't think a lot of people are super happy right now in the real estate market. So like that's the other thing to think about your avatar. You're here going, yay, we love like real estate, which is great that you're passionate and you love it. But like, remember, you're making content for a specific avatar, or you should be. And that avatar is probably feeling some pain points.
But I'm gonna push back on you, Joe, on this one. This video did good. She has a nice gleaming smile. This video did real good. She has a nice gleaming smile. This one did okay. She still doesn't look terrified. You know,
Right.
For her, I don't think she needs to necessarily.
I would still test it.
Yeah.
Like,
I test it. I don't think you necessarily have to have the ultimate B face like I usually.
yeah, you don't want to, like, I'm not saying to be like grumpy or whatever. I'm just saying that like the what you want to look at is what is that avatar going to feel when they see that? And if you're like part of enhancing or part of telling the story, if you're going to put your face on there, is like, what is it that is great, you know? And I'm just saying, like, from the things that I've seen, and I definitely think you should split test your thumbnails and see which one gets better traction.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, go back up for a minute. The thing is also is her face is bigger on that thumbnail too.
Well, that's what we always say. You're either 1/3, 1/2, either 1/3 or 1/2. I put myself in the middle of all my, a lot of my videos, like all that on the thumbnails. I put myself in the middle. Yep. Are you still there?
I almost wonder if she had just an arrow instead of moving to Tuscaloosa. Is that how you say it?
Tuscaloosa.
Tuscaloosa.
And Jason Walter. Hello, Fran. Happy 2025. Somebody wants to know, do you recommend using shorts? Depends on your avatar.
Yep.
I'm not, there is no line in the sand that I definitely say, no, never do shorts.
If you're going to do shorts, it should be a way to introduce it into your long form content. If you're going to do that,
I was just going to say, what's introduct?
I'm from a small town in Utah.
All right. My next video is the pros and cons, but I want a better title, looking at top reasons to love and loathe Sherman, Texas, or something like Sherman, Texas, exposed pros and cons of small town life. I still don't like any of those.
They're way, way too long.
Yep. They're too long. And you, does it have to say Sherman, Texas on it? Well, I mean, does it have to? No.
I would, if you're going to do the state, just do the state.
Or Southern Texas or Northern Texas or.
Oh, yeah.
You want to reach as far out and wide as you can so you can grab more fish in your net. Right?
Yeah, I would almost, I don't know, like this is almost like a relocation video.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do it, and I would do top reasons. I don't even know if I do top reasons. I would do
top reasons.
I'm leaving, like,
why people hate living in Sherman, Texas. So
yeah.
Why people hate living in Eastern Texas.
People are fleeing.
Yeah.
Fleeing, a big word.
Yeah. Yeah. Escaping.
Escape.
Yeah. People are escaping North Texas. I don't know where this is. I don't know if it's South Texas, North Texas. I don't know. My geography is crap. Says I struggle with informational ones because there's only so many info videos on a small town. I'm going to tell you something, Mary. Little secret that I say the same crap in my videos every single
Over
time,
and over.
over and over again. I have explained the difference between a modular or manufactured home so many times. It's memorized. I can literally rattle it off without even taking a breath, without even thinking about it. I've been making those same videos now for 5 years. 5 years. And to this day, it doesn't matter, because what happens is this: people that are looking up real estate information, they're looking up real estate information for that specific period of time. After that, they're no longer looking at it anymore. So when you make another video about the small town in your area, even though you've said all of this stuff before, it's new to the person that was looking for the information today.
Yep. And you have learned more, and you've said things differently because you're making more content, or maybe you become more comfortable at being in front of the camera, or that you learned some new tricks that you didn't have when you made that first video. And this is true for everybody. If you go back and look at your very first video that you put on YouTube compared to the video that you did now, if you are trying to become better, you'll look at it and go, wow, there's a huge difference between how I looked, or how comfortable I was, or what I did compared to what I'm doing today. And the more you do it, the better you become at it. So, and we talk about this a lot. If you'll, whatever you focus on, that will expand. So small town video. Yeah. But guess what? How many small towns are in the United States? There's so many that you can expand on and talk about. And so then all of a sudden you have like some comparisons from one small town to another. You can bring people in on a live stream from I'm from a small town. You know what I mean? So like there's ways to like get engagement, but you have to get out of that mentality of like, I can only make so many videos. Because when Christina first started making videos, you thought the same thing, right? You're like, how can I talk about these types of land, for example? I'm talking about like land, like there's nothing else to talk about. How can I make more videos about that?
And that was like when I had already done 2 videos about manufactured housing and buying a manufactured home. And when I was originally coached by Daryl Eves, he said, in here, like you should really make another video about buying a manufactured home. Like, there's nothing else to say about it. He's like, just do it. I'm like, all right, well, I'll do it again. But I've done this. And I remember doing it begrudgingly because I was like, I've already said
You're
it.
like, I can't wait to show him.
I know. And I was wrong. I was so wrong. I was so ready to tell him that he was wrong, but I was the one that was wrong. I was wrong. I was going to be like, another guru that's full of crap. Wrong. I was wrong. We have one more we gotta get to.
All right, let's do it.
All right, it's moving to Chattanooga. Can you say that one, Joe?
Chattanooga.
Chattanooga. Very good.
Maybe.
All right, let's look at its titles because that's what we're here for. All right, top 5 zip codes for home sales in Chattanooga, in Tennessee. Who cares? It's not compelling to me. It's just not even a compelling video.
Yeah, like what? Like I would put like in there like your.
Why do people need to know this?
Like the cities, right?
Mm-hmm.
Best small towns you didn't know about.
Yeah, that's a good one. Or the hidden gems.
Yeah,
hidden gems would be a good one.
You've been lied to.
Mm-hmm. Choosing your Tennessee dream, Cleveland or Chattanooga. I don't hate that one. I'd say battle of wow. Who has ever been like, I don't know. Have you been to Cleveland? I would much rather live in Chattanooga than Cleveland. I think it's like the most unhappy city in the United States. That's what I think it was rated one of the top unhappiest places in the United States.
Maybe he's getting a lot of people that are moving there, and so he's making content for that. So if you're going to do that, like with the verses, change your thumbnail.
Yep, it'd be Chattanooga on one side and Cleveland on the other side, and have like a check and a X.
X, red X.
You don't even need the words.
Yeah.
Yep. But I don't hate that title. I just hate those like ... two.
Yeah, you do those and it's like, just continue it on.
Yep. Let's see. Should you move here? All right. Well, I would never repeat the title. You put should you move here and then should you live here? It's almost like repeating the title. This is where I'd say this is where the title would be for me. You need to live here when you move to Chattanooga. Like make it more of a statement than a question. What do you concur, Joe Eves?
Yeah, I think that also I was just thinking about like that and from an angle of, you know, like when you're from a small town, people from a small town don't like it when people move into their small town. And so coming from that angle of like, you know, don't come here. And here's why. And then it's a positive, you know, like it's a positive spin of why people are moving in droves to Chattanooga.
Look at this one. My regrets about relocating to Chattanooga. This is a fantastic title. This is a good title. I wouldn't even put, did I make a mistake? Because you already implied that in the title. You regret it, right? And if you're going to do anything, I would put on there, like, not again. Or
yeah, it's something shorter so that it doesn't truncate your title.
Yeah, I mean, you have 5 words on there, but it's too long on the thumbnail. But this,
you just say like, uh-oh.
Yeah. Or oh no.
Oh no. Yeah.
Yeah. And I make your image bigger. I make your personal image bigger. But this is my favorite title that you've done.
Yeah, I think so too. Just tweak. Well, the title the second part of that I would get rid of too.
Yep. Yes.
So there's a common thing. I know we're not talking about thumbnails, but if you're going to put yourself on there, make yourself bigger.
Yep. Either 1/3, 1/2.
Yeah, you're like teeny tiny.
Yeah. Those are some great video. Those are some great channels to review this week.
Yeah, we had quite a few that filled it out.
I concur, Joe Eves. Hey, and next week, if you guys can't make it or you don't want to have your channel on there, what I would tell you to do is to go ahead and call our AI robot. You can even get in an argument with him.
Yeah.
His name is Frank, right? And
he's pretty knowledgeable.
Yeah, he's gonna say, what questions do you have for the live stream? And sometimes he answers you, but don't listen to him. Just come back to the live stream next week and we'll put your question, the recorded question on the screen, and we'll answer your question live. So that's 888-865-6062. Yep. Thank you, everybody. I hope you have a fantastic week. Just know that if you are wanting to get in on the group, it starts next week. Next week. The new Real Estate Video Geeks 8-week course starts next week. If you're looking to sign up today. That was my little call to action. You like that?
That was a great call to action.
Does Frank like alligators?
No, he hates them.
Yeah, I don't know if Frank is actually physically seen. You can argue with him. You can ask him, do you like alligators, Frank?
Yeah.
See what he says. I got in a fight with AI Santa.
Of course you would.
Yeah, you have the recording of that.
I think I do.
All right, everybody. Have a fantastic week. We will see you next Thursday. And until then, keep filming. All right. So long.
Bye.
Yeah, it's the end of the stream. Christina and Joe taught you all the tricks, make your leads grow. From thumbnails to tags, you gotta be bold. YouTube's the key, turn your listings to gold. Edit those vids, make them snappy, make them fly. Engage with your audience, connect, don't be shy. Realtor to the core, but tech on your side. Hit that algorithm like a digital tide. This is the final click, now you're in the know. Use YouTube to flourish, let them listings blow. It's the small details that bring in the dough. From Christina and Joe, here's the way to go. Every upload strategic so your views ain't stopping. Consistency's key, schedule that drop. Content's king, crown it at the top. So you learn the ropes from two of the best, Christina and Joe. Put your skills to the test. Turn those leads into clients, make your channel explode. Realtor success on the digital road. This is the final click, now you're in the